This animated movie, it didn't just break Netflix, it completely rewrote the rules of global pop culture. So, how on earth did an animated film become a cultural earthquake? Let's get into it. Okay, it all boils down to this one absolutely massive number, 266 million. We're talking about the number of views that catapulted an animated movie to become the single most watched title in Netflix history. I mean, it didn't just top the charts, it literally dethroned the global titan, Squid Game. Think about that for a sec. So yeah, how did we get here? The movie, of course, is K-Pop Demon Hunters, and it went from being just an animated feature to an absolute, undeniable global sensation. And if you look at the team behind it, you can kind of see the recipe for success, right? You've got Sony Pictures Animation, the folks who are always pushing the boundaries of what animation can look like. Then you pair them with Netflix, which is just a massive global launchpad. Add in directors Maggie Kang and Appelhans, and when this thing dropped in June 2025, it didn't just make waves, it was a tsunami. All right, let's get to the heart of it, the thing that made this movie so ridiculously magnetic. The concept is it's pure lightning in a bottle. You've got K-pop superstars by day and demon hunters by night. It's this insane genre blend that I swear nobody saw coming, but the minute we saw it, we all realized we desperately needed it. So the story is all about this K-pop girl group called Huntrix. And on stage, they're everything you'd expect. Perfect choreography, screaming fans, total superstars. But offstage? They're humanity's last line of defense. They're secretly protecting us all from these ancient demons that are trying to claw their way through a magical barrier. It's this high-stakes double life, and it's just brilliant. And you know what every great hero needs, right? A truly great villain. And the central conflict here is this epic rivalry. So on one side, you've got Huntrix, our secret demon hunters wielding ancient, powerful magic. And on the other side, the Saja Boys. They're this rival K-pop group who are, get this, secretly demons themselves. And they're not using magic. They're using their fame, their modern popularity as a weapon to weaken the very barrier Huntrix is sworn to protect. It's just genius. Okay, so the concept is cool. But why did it connect so deeply with millions? What were the ingredients that took this from a movie to a full-blown cultural phenomenon? Let's get into the anatomy of this hit. Just look at this list. This is where you see the visual genius of the film. The directors weren't just looking at other cartoons. They pulled from an incredible mix of places. You've got the beauty of traditional Korean minhwa folk art, the crazy genre bending you see in Bong Joon-ho's movies, the pure energy of a K-pop concert stage, the emotional punch of anime, and even the slick, polished look of high-fashion photography. They blended all of that together to create a style that felt completely new, but also weirdly familiar. And look, this was not some surface-level, let's make a K-pop movie. No way. The team's commitment to authenticity was on another level. I mean, they brought in actual famous K-pop choreographers from places like Jam Republic and the Black Label. The animation itself, yeah, it's 3D CGI, but they fused it with 2D techniques just to get those super expressive anime faces right. They even animated Korean language mouth shapes for the dialogue and meticulously recreated real spots in Seoul like Namsen Tower. That's dedication. And this quote from the animation director, Josh Beveridge, just sums it all up perfectly. You can get pretty violent if you put a lot of glitter on. I mean, how good is that? It totally captures their whole approach to action. The fight scenes are basically dance fighting. They use these incredible glitter effects to make everything feel beautiful and brutal at the same time. It's an aesthetic that let them go all out with the action, making it super dynamic without it ever feeling too much. Okay, we've talked about the art and the story. Now let's talk numbers. Because the data behind this movie's dominance is, and I'm not exaggerating, absolutely staggering. This wasn't just a popular movie, it was a history-making event. Just look at this timeline. The speed is insane. It drops. By late July, boom, it's the most watched animated film on Netflix. By late August, not even a month later, it blows past Red Notice to become the most watched film ever. And then, by the first week of September, it does the unthinkable. It dethrones Squid Game to become the most watched thing on Netflix, period. Full stop. It's just wild. And the film's power wasn't just contained to your living room, it broke out of the streaming box. Netflix did this special sing-along version in theaters for a limited time, and the results were just shocking. We're talking $19.2 million on its opening weekend. That's more than other big Netflix movies like Glass Onion made in theaters. Let that sink in, People who could watch it for free at home were paying money to go see it again, together on a big screen. And then there's the music. Oh my God, the music. The soundtrack wasn't just a part of the movie, it became its own separate phenomenon. It made actual Billboard history, the first soundtrack ever to have 4 songs in the top 10 at the same time. And the craziest part? The fictional groups from the movie, Huntrix and the Saja Boys, were climbing the Spotify charts and surpassing real-world acts. The line between what was real and what was fiction just completely evaporated. So all of this, the views, the box office, the music, it all leads to a much bigger picture. Because K-Pop Demon Hunters wasn't just a movie. It became a true global cultural force. You could even say it represents a whole new phase of the Korean wave. And to really get a grip on its impact, you have to understand this concept, soft power. It's basically a country's ability to influence the world, not through force, but through its culture, its music, its food, its movies. And this film? It became one of South Korea's most powerful pieces of soft power ever. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Academics and cultural analysts jumped on this immediately, calling the film a major cultural product and basically a masterclass in strategic cultural promotion. It took Korean mythology, K-pop music, and modern soul life and packaged it into this story that was just irresistible to a global audience. And you want to see real-world effects? Check this out. This number, plus 23.1%, that's the massive spike in international tourism to Seoul right after the movie came out. People weren't just watching, they were booking flights. They were flying to South Korea just to go see the real-life locations from the film. And the fandom, their creativity just went into overdrive. I mean, you couldn't open TikTok without seeing a viral dance challenge from the movie. The Halloween costumes were everywhere. There was even a ramen noodle challenge that got so big it came with actual public safety warnings. K-pop-themed dance classes started popping up all over the world. The film wasn't just something people watched, it was something they were doing. So with this insane level of success, it was never a question of if we'd see more. It was only a matter of when. Which brings us to the future. What's next for the Demon Hunters? Well, it's official. Netflix has confirmed a sequel is on the way, and they're targeting a 2029 release. So yeah, this was no fluke. This isn't a one-off hit. This is the official beginning of a massive new global franchise. And all of this leaves us with one last really big question. When you add it all up, the record-shattering numbers, the massive cultural impact, this incredibly passionate global fandom, you have to ask, is this the most powerful animated film of this decade? I really want to know what you think, so drop your answer in the comments below. And hey, if you like deep dives into the pop culture that's actually shaping our world, make sure you subscribe. You won't want to miss what's next.